Li Lu, as an investor, he is one of the world's best kept secret, a hugely successful value investor, producing very large market beating returns year after year. Li Lu's value investment firm, Himalaya Capital Investors, has reportedly produced a 30% compound annual return since inception in 1998, putting this little known investor in the same league as the greats Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. In my view, the biggest investment risk is not the volatility of prices, but whether you will suffer a permanent loss of capital. Not only is the mere drop in stock prices not risk, but it is an opportunity. Where else do you look for cheap stocks? Forget about earnings. Just consider the assets on the balance sheet. At the time, the 5-year average for all oil prices was about $20 per barrel, and on a per share basis, they were trading for as low as 1 cent on the dollar. Sometimes half a cent on the dollar, so about 10 cents to 20 cents per barrel of crude oil. And that's not even counting the earning from the company. It was ridiculous. Buying 30 cheap but solid companies. The first thing Li Lu looks for when finding investment opportunities is the new low list, searching for very cheap stocks relative to the net asset value. If you are wrong, you won't lose a lot, but if you are right, you are going to make a lot. Charlie Munger said about Li Lu, I have read Barron's for 50 years. In 50 years, I found one investment opportunity in Barron's, out of which I made about 80 million. For almost no risk, I took the 80 million and gave it to Li Lu, who turned it into 400 million or 500 million. So I have made 400 million or 500 million out of reading Barron's for 50 years and following one idea. I did not have a lot of ideas. I did not find them easily, but I did pounce on one. Here are the takeaways. Understand yourself. A value investor needs to be comfortable being in the minority. You will have to adopt the position that you are right because of your reason and evidence, not because other agrees with you. Another one is small and concentrated. The small cap advantage has shown that small cap companies have outperformed larger caps over the long term. In part, the lack of coverage leads to outperformance. Think differently from the market and long term. To achieve outperformance, individuals have to think differently, which include looking at the beat up, downtrodden, and unloved companies. Li Lu still prefers the quality, but a certain outlook is helpful in these instances. The key to success for the small investor is locating the parts of the market where investors are selling for reasons other than a fundamental assessment of value. The single greatest edge an investor can have is a long-term orientation. Warren Buffett opened Li Lu's mind, and over the following year he tried to find out everything about Warren and read everything Warren wrote. A later year, he bought his first stock and continued as an amateur investor throughout Columbia days. By the time he got out of school, he was looking at the balance sheet and realized he did not have to work for anybody. He can just do this. Speculators make money by forecasting how other market participants will behave. Investors make money by participating in the long-term value creation of the companies they invest in. The fundamental difference between speculating and investing is that speculation is a zero-sum game, while investing is not. Someone always has to lose in a speculation game, but investing is a win-win game. In the very long term, few very speculators have track records, but many investors do. Everyone's circle of competence will be different. It's better to build a circle of competence in a business you are interested in. In other words, let your personal interest guide you, not someone else's interest. A common mistake for investor is to keep adding more companies to the research list because of the fear of missing out and a distorted incentive system. But there comes a time when investors should be doing subtraction, not additions. Lee asks his analyst to imagine every business they analyze as their own companies, inherited from their deceased uncle. You inherited the company but know nothing about it. What would you do to understand the business? Lee asks his analyst one simple question when analyzing a company. Can you tell what the worst scenario is for the business during the next 10 years? In other words, if sometime over the next 10 years, everything that does go wrong, what will the economics of the business look like? These are the following traits the successful investors have: independence, rationality, extreme patience and decisiveness, extreme interests in businesses. Lilu said, holding cash is better than speculating. Non-professional investors should avoid investing in opportunities that might offer promising returns, but which they don't fully understand. Instead, they should be satisfied with lower returns, but more sustainable investment products. Around 6% to 7% compounded for many years is very powerful. There is a Chinese saying that goes, one should neither be pleased by external gains nor be saddened by personal losses. Charlie Munger is one of those people who can achieve such a state of mind. Everyone has blind spots, and even the brightest people are no exceptions. Only by a process of peaceful evolution can China accomplish its own goal of being a free, prosperous, and strong country. Politically, China suppresses its people, but because the government allows some freedom in economic matter, business has become the ultimate expression of individuality. I grew up in communist China and never had much money to my name, and then all of a sudden I had giant student loans. To us, anyone who opposes dictatorship is our friend, those who support it our enemy. All companies incur expenses, some of which are fixed and bear no relation to sales volume. In the way, profits can grow at a faster rate than sales. When I first came to Columbia University, I was dirt poor. I did not choose to come here. I just ended up here because I had nowhere else to go, having escaped from China. I was in a new country where I did not understand the language, did not know anybody, and did not have a penny to my name, so I was desperate and afraid. In my view, the biggest investment risk is not the volatility of prices, but whether you will suffer a permanent loss of capital. Not only is the mere drop in stock prices not risk, but it is an opportunity. Where else do you look for cheap stocks? Every day, aim to learn something, and if a year goes by, you have to learn a great deal.